Once again, my name is Drew, and today I will be walking you through a bit of Stronghold Kingdoms. In this first installment of tips and tricks, what we're going to talk about is defending. I know I did a bit more of an in-depth tutorial earlier with using cards and how to set up your castle. These are the tips and tricks on how to defend your castle, kind of the same way, but ways that people normally don't think about. And the first one is to interdict your village. Now, it sounds simple enough, but a lot of people don't know that you can interdict your village from the village that you chose. Say, for example, this village here is under attack. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to get a monk. Okay, it's under attack. I normally have to send from a different village, but one trick that you can do is you select the village. You make sure that it's on the village. Over here on the right hand side, you see the monk icon. You click that, and then this usually comes up. You can select another village, but you're going to select your village, and then you click the select target, and as you can see, it takes 0 seconds, and then you just click OK, and then your village is automatically interdicted. As you can see, it added 4 hours on. Alright, now next, I know I showed you how to set up your castle, and this is pretty similar to the one that I put in the tutorial, but it's how to place troops on your castle. And depending on how many attacks they're sending at you, it may be the difference between losing one tower and losing most of your towers in the front or wherever they're sending their attacks. Now, the traditional design was putting 9 in each tower, and you normally, since they're great towers, they have this nice little grayed out part, which if you make it maximize is actually the part where they're supposed to stand. But they have this nice little part where you can put 9. Now, I've experimented quite a bit with archers, and the range with an archer on top of a tower is about 27 squares. Now, when I say square, it's a single wall like this, so each one of these are 5, so that's 5, 6, 11 right there. Okay, so even archers, say back here, will shoot at the archers up here, or the troops. But to really do a lot of damage, what you could do is, instead of having the 9 like that, you could have a row of 5. Okay, now the thing about this is, because they're up on the front, they do die a bit quicker. When I say a bit quicker, it really depends on what the other person sends, but when they're on the front line, they get shot at from the archers being sent. But as you can see, there's 10 instead of 9, and they are closer, so they shoot more catapults towards the back, which is always a plus when you're getting multiple attacks, which I'll show you a couple of attacks that were done on me. Again, they were untimed. If anyone sends untimed armies at you, it shows in experience, because all you can do is you can hit repair, you can replace troops in the middle. Alright, next we have, say you're under attack, they're untimed attacks, and one already hit you and you want to repair your walls. So, say this village is under attack, and I go to the castle, and I know it hit, I know I defended, and I know it was 100 catapults because I already looked at the report. But I look here and none of my walls are red. A way to update your castle quicker is, what you can do is you can click on an archer, any troop within your castle this will work with, and then all you do is you remove them. Okay? And as you can see on the right hand side here, you have the confirm button. As soon as you click that, it updates your castle, and a lot of times you'll see it pop up. It'll be red with a little bit of walls, and you just click repair. This works wonderfully, and it's definitely a great thing to have instead of having to wait for the game to refresh, because that's what this little timer up here is. Unless you want to wait a minute for that to refresh, this does it instantly. Alright, now another great example is, say for instance your parish, your castle is completely destroyed, pretty much like how mine is here. Now, this is the after effects of a war, and a bunch of people wanting to send 150 catapults at your parish for absolutely no reason. But for just the sake of the video, I'm going to show you how to defend a castle without hardly any walls. Now, this relies completely on pitch and completely on troop placement by them. Now, I'll show you a video towards the end on exactly, it was actually this exact parish where I defended quite a bit and killed quite a bit of troops with pitch alone. Now, one thing that you want to do is, as you can see here, I have absolutely no walls except for the little bits here or there. what you want to do is you want to place oil pots on walls, and then when they fall, they'll burn troops. So what you can do is you can place single bits of wall, or in my example, a long stretch of wall like that. You skip one. Actually, no, let's skip two, because when oil pots drop, they drop 2 tiles on each side. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 and 2 like that. We're going to go back another 2, and then we're going to do another line. Now, once we do this, what we're going to do is we're going to intertwine the oil pots. Alright, as you can see here, I have 5 smelters. This allows me to place 25 oil pots within my castle. This is great, because 25 oil pots will do a lot of damage to anyone, let alone troops. So, as you can see here, I'm trying to do every other for the oil pots, and I'm trying to stick the ones that, say for instance, are behind the last row in between the gap that they have. Now once this is done, you can start just filling them up anywhere. And what this does is when the troops invade, they'll walk right in, and these, yeah, it looks like I placed all 25. But when they invade, these oil pots will be on the ground, which, like I said, I'll show you a video, but they're on the ground and the fire will kill the troops. This is an extremely great strategy for someone who does not have a lot of cards, but they do have a lot of pitch, or they may have a half-built castle with some smelters. Now, I've seen players such as Psycho Jester or Chili. They've captured a village in a war zone, and to defend a weak captain by somebody, they did this. Now, normally, if one side of your castle is open, you would do pitch like that all the way up to the middle. And when you do that, it makes their troops narrow in, and when they narrow in, more fall on the fire. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to show you that report real quick so you can at least see it. Alright, now touching on the point that I talked about before, defending without walls. Now, this is just a small example of what you can do with pitch and how you can go about defending without walls. This was a gold raid that someone did on me. Now keep in mind that I didn't have any walls here. I knew that they were going to attack that side because they had previously. As you can see, I put nothing but pitch down. Now where the pitch is standing, there are walls building. That's how I'm able to put the oil pots on top of there. But also, as you can see, as these pikemen, before they even reach the middle, because of all this pitch, they're almost dead. Now, I'll speed it up a bit so you can see, but the fire is burning quite a few of his troops, and even while they're leaving, you'll get to see the damage that it does, and quite a few of his troops will die because of the pitch. Now, this works wonderfully when you're under attack, and again, you don't have any cards, you can't place any troops. Now, as you can see, with pitch alone, I had no troops on the walls. With pitch alone, I killed 120 pikemen and 90 archers. Now, the 45 catapults, that's just out of pure, I believe I killed a little bit with pitch, but other than that, it's pretty much my sally forth and maybe a little bit of these turrets here. As you can see, pitch does quite a bit of damage. Now, just imagine that fire gauntlet up the middle while you're being attacked with a captain. That does quite a bit of damage. Alright, now while we're still on the subject of defending, another tip or trick that you could do is if you're trying to kill the captain attack and you know which side they're going to attack, say they attacked it early, your village is wide open, say that there's a hole here all the way to the keep. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to place the peasant hole to kill their captain. Each player places their captains differently. Some players even send 5 captains on a raise. But what you can try to do is, a lot of times players put them in the back, so that way they're not killed by these turrets right here. So what you want to do is, I normally like place it right here, because a lot of times players, like I said, put it in the back, they put it off to the side. Very rarely do I see anyone putting their captain all the way in the back now, because there's been so many instances where someone has killed the captain with the peasant hole. And what this does is, if the captain is standing directly on top of the peasant hole, or even next to the peasant hole, there's a good chance that he could be killed by the peasants coming out. And when you do this, you can have 20 attacks on you, but if you kill that captain, or even that captain army, you are scot-free and you are defending, and you will be able to keep that village one way or the other. Alright, now I know I talked about do not send untimed attacks because people can just repair their castles and then you're just wasting your troops. I was attacked the other day by people that were doing this. I'm just going to show you exactly what happened. I'm going to speed it up just because there's a lot of them. And throughout, I think it was about 700 catapults they wasted, they only destroyed one tower. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you this. Alright, once again this has been Drew. This has been the first installment of Tips and Tricks, which focused on defending. Later on in the week, or maybe even tomorrow, we're going to talk a bit more about attacking. what tips and tricks you can incorporate into your everyday attacking and combat style to really throw your enemies for a loop, or maybe even to give you more of an advantage against the enemy AI. If you have any questions, make sure to message me either in-game, at YouTube, or in the forums. Give me a bit of time to respond. I may not respond depending on the game world. I know I don't go over to the newer game worlds too often because of the war in World 1, but message me and I'll definitely be able to help. If you have any suggestions for videos, also message me in those places. And that has been all, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.